you had a Final X. This will be your second Final X. 2023, you got the result you wanted. You made a world team, then you medaled at Worlds. Talk about your preparation for this and coming back to New Jersey for your second Final X event.
Yeah, the prep's been fairly normal compared to other preparations. I feel like each time it gets a little bit more smoother and smoother. I'm maturing, treating things more like a professional. So just learning things that way each time I go to make weight, go to compete. So preparation's been fairly the same. Been in Iowa City training, and yeah, last competition was Pan Am. So other than that, just been in Iowa City.
I talked to you a couple months ago and I asked you what your next event was, and you said you were going to probably just declare
Final X.
declare a Final X. You have a unique experience like that. Not everybody gets to do that, medaling in Worlds before. What were your thoughts going into that, and how are you feeling?
Yeah, so I always bring this up, but Sarah Hildebrandt, who I was training with up till last year at the OTC, she'd always get a bye to the finals, and I was like, dang, that's like so nice. And she'd always be like, yeah, it is nice, but like I never got to experience it, and then I got to experience this year, and I was like, yeah, that's really nice. So I'd prefer to keep that trend going.
You've been kind of all over the past 5-6 years. Talk about how the experiences training in North Carolina, Stillwater, OTC have led you to Iowa City, why you went to Iowa City, and what you've learned from your times elsewhere.
Yeah, I feel I'm a Christ follower. I believe that all of this is God's plan, and each experience, each place I've been to has taught me something different about myself. I've learned more about myself. The people I've ran into at UNC, I mean, like Jameel Kelly, Tony Ramos, Coleman Scott, like just to start it off the bat right there, like those are three great coaches, people that have been to the places I want to be, have trained, competed with the people I want to train and compete with. So that was the first stop, and then OTC always has people in and out of there. I was at training with high-level girls at a very young age out of high school there with Sarah Hildebrandt, Tamara, just girls in and out of there all the time. And then I was in Stillwater for a little bit, and John Smith, just being around him, it was great, yeah.
And then what ultimately led you to make the decision to make Iowa City your home base?
Home base, yeah. So I've always known Clarissa. Out of high school, I moved out to the OTC and was part of their resident program, and Clarissa was one of the coaches out there at the time. So I always knew Clarissa. We had a great relationship, and then always have stuck in contact with her, even going to UNC, going to Stillwater, going to all these different places, and then had my 2 shoulder surgeries, was back at the OTC rehabbing. That all happened, and then just like we were talking about, like I didn't have an opportunity to go to D1 school out of high school, so that was always something that I thought was really cool that guys got to experience, but the girls thing was really not an option. So when that came about last fall, I was just like, I wonder if it's even an option anymore. So I reached out to Clarissa, and she was like, are you serious or are you joking? Because we'd always would joke about me coming to Iowa, and I was like, no, like I'm serious. Let's see how much eligibility I even have. And I had a year left, so super grateful I even had a year of eligibility, but grateful for the opportunity, and it's led me to be their first resident athlete, which I'm super grateful and thankful for, and I'm planning on being here through this quad. So.
You want to talk a little bit more about the experience of being on a team full of other women? What's that like?
Oh, yeah. That's something that I really underestimated, to be honest, because I never had been a part of a women's team. Like, in high school, I was part of a guys' team. Wasn't a part of a team at all, was kind of on my own through these RTCs with the guys, like kind of was making things work, and then to be a part of a women's team and then have the support that Iowa has, it's not like anything I've ever been a part of. Like, I feel like wanted, and like they're there for me. It's not something I have to force or anything like that. So it's been awesome too to just be friends with different girls too. I've always been with guys. Not that that's anything wrong with that, but like it's different. So I'm super grateful to have girl teammates and people like Kylie, Kennedy, Bree, and people that are doing this at a high level with me. So that's awesome.
What do you draw from these experiences, at Final X and World Championships? It's going to help you and then continues to help you perform at a high level.
Well, I think too, like these experiences are the highest level that we get to compete at. So just constantly learning about myself, learning about where I want to improve in as a person, as a wrestler, and I think that's been a big thing the past couple of years, is not just looking at this as a wrestling mindset or wrestling. I'm learning just wrestling. It's like I'm learning about myself. I'm learning about what makes me tick, kind of stuff like that. So, yeah, like you said, I've learned a lot through especially these high-level experiences the most.
Your opponent tomorrow, Jury. How do you feel about this match, and what kind of problems does she present for you?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of experience this past year alone wrestling her. I think I've wrestled her 3 times. So definitely have the experience of wrestling her. I know her feel. I know she is a thrower. So I think just how I've been preparing, how I've been training is how I'm going to go out there and wrestle. Like, that's what I need to do. So I think just sticking to who I am, who people see me as, is I'm going to put pressure on her. I'm going to be stingy. I'm going to be consistent and get to my attacks and be on the attack. So as long as I'm doing what Macey Kilty does, I don't see a problem coming in my way. But definitely the throws. Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add, thank, shout out, promote, whatever?
No, I just want to, this past year, I'm with ASICS now, so shout out ASICS. Super grateful to be with them. And then Titan Mercury with the Sunkist switch. I'm super grateful they picked me up. And then, of course, being with IWWC and being in Iowa, having that support staff, support system, it's awesome. And then shout out to my family for always being there. So, yeah.
Thank you very much. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.